Good evening, everybody, and welcome to Havana, Illinois, as we are bringing you the final game of the regular season for the Macomb Bombers. John Burton alongside me, Mr. Tony Weston, as it has been throughout the season. Again, this is TSSR Game Time Live, presented by MDH for Honor Brothers Heating and Cooling's presentation of Bomber football. Macomb comes into this game with a record of 3-5. Been on a bit of a skid as of recent, but Havana in this one so far winless on the season.
Yeah, so number one, what a great night for football to close out this season. Couldn't ask for a better night. Send these seniors off, give them one last battle on the gridiron. Just a phenomenal night for football. But before we go any further, I'd be remiss, man. I want to say thank you to Dwayne Hulett for bringing me onto this team. It's been awesome to be able to do, every football game with this professional outfit and bring it to the people. And I love hearing, on the chat line and in texts from people all across the country, Bomber Nation stretching across the country and chiming into these broadcasts. I just want to say thanks to Dwayne and to you, Big Johnny. We did most of the games together this year.
I think all but the season opener, the one in Havana, and then the Breeze game, I believe.
Hamilton, yeah. Hamilton, yep. Yeah, absolutely. All the rest, you and me. And hopefully it'll be more of the same next year. And about 10 months from now, we're gonna start over and turn the page. Obviously we want to send those seniors off tonight. Guys like Connor Bishop and the Twin Towers out there, Ian Case and Dion Doyle and Ty Martin in the middle and downtown Harley Brown and all these guys, Thomas Kobix and Damone Johnson and, Hunter Kendrick, who we never got to see this year, unfortunately. And I think this season I don't think you can even fathom the difference in the football season having that anchor in your line would make. But Ethan Harrison, of course, one of my favorites. But and Dom Quinn, again, we haven't seen this year. These guys would make a huge difference in our football team. But look at what's coming back and the excitement that we're going to have building starting tomorrow morning, because I've known Tanner Worrell darn near his whole life. I know that it starts tomorrow morning. And, you're bringing back your quarterback. That's huge right there. Then you're bringing back Drew Watson. You're bringing back Jerron Petty. You're bringing back Jack Beal. You're bringing back Langdon Lambert, who first year playing football. And what a huge role he's carved out for himself. He's been huge to this program. Malachi Conley hasn't played football, came out. And then, obviously, Thunderbolty, Talon Quisenberry, Jeffy Lee, Hector Mamie came out for football. Kyler Cheatham, Alex Brown has carved out such a huge role and been so impactful. These guys are going to grow a year, and then you've got those super freshmen. My goodness, man, we're going to have Drake May coming back. We're going to have Kyler Norton. Remember that first game of the year, man? What a game for a freshman to introduce himself. I'm really interested to see what Kylan McMillan can do next year. I mean, all these guys are coming back. They're going to have another year in the system. Oh, big Charlie Bodiford.
There you go.
Man, give that guy a year in the weight room, a year in a high school varsity wrestling lineup. Well, he's going to be battling Alex Brown. I guess I shouldn't crown him varsity. You don't know. But he's going to be in that varsity wrestling room, hanging and banging with the big guys. And all of that stuff is going to pay off when it comes time to summer camps and opening back up in August. But you know what? That's all future. Big Johnny, we got kickoff coming right here.
Yep, it appears the Ducks will start with the ball first here tonight as Macomb gets set to kick off. I believe that's Blaine Eddington on the kick, number 82. Going to shoot it towards the near sideline. Bobble temporarily able to scoop it up there and brought out of bounds by number 23 on the Macomb side. That's Malachi Conley, one of the players we kind of talked about in the pregame show there.
Helped out by Damone Johnson, senior.
So the Ducks will start with the first drive of the game. Looks like they'll be starting near their own about 35.
Nolan Hogue, actually, I'm looking out there, starting cornerback tonight. He's been in and out of the varsity lineup. He's made some huge plays. How about that West Hancock game? He came up huge. This is another guy. Just can't wait to see this guy go from sophomore. Ball's on the ground. Quarterback falls on it.
That's number 13 on the Ducks side. That's Caden Olsen getting the start at QB tonight. Junior on this Ducks team. A little bit of trouble there on the initial snap. Ducks will lose about 9 yards there, 8 yards. Sets up second down in 19. High snap this time.
Another high snap.
Able to get a handoff to the running back in the backfield, but brought down near the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, that's nowhere to run. That is my man Kyler Cheatham. Meeting him at the line, holding on, and, you know, got that wrestler grip, brings him to the ground. He gets 2 takedown on that one.
That was Caden Green on the carry for the Ducks, number 22. Ducks now faced with a 3rd and 17. That snap was about right where you wanted it. Olsen rolls out to his right, being tracked down by Case, lobs it down the field, but it'll be into the Macomb sideline and incomplete.
Huge pressure from Ian Case, and also some interior pressure, and we've talked about it in weeks in the past. Nice job of those interior linemen of really just shuffling feet and caging, making sure that we're closing off any escape routes while Ian Case runs around and gets in the pocket and does his dirty work.
So that's going to set up 4th down for this Ducks team on their opening drive. Looks like they're going to get set to punt things away here. Punts out down the field. It will touch down around the 45. And it'll be recovered. Appears about the 43 in Macomb territory. So that's where the Bombers will take over.
Nice job there by the Havana Bullet. Comes over and the ball lays to rest, right? A lot of high school football players will go over and touch the football, right? He picks the ball up and hands it to the referee. If he touches the football, a lot of heady, cerebral return guys will just kind of hang around. He touches the football and walks away. That's a live ball. He goes over and picks that up and he goes, and he can't lose any yards on it. So if he were to fumble it or whatever, it would just come right back there. So it's one of those quirky rules, but so you always, as the punt team, always want to make sure that you pick up that ball and give it to the referee. So we got trips to the near side, halfbacks on the same side, but they're going to run sort of a counter, struggle to get back near the line of scrimmage.
That was 23. That's Malachi Conley, gets the first carry of the game. He came up pretty big in that game in Aledo last week towards the end of the game.
Yeah, that
had
second
a couple
half
nice
run.
runs.
Yep, that second half run that was probably the most fun football we've seen this year, Johnny, wouldn't you say?
Yeah, it was definitely entertaining. Just 10 minutes to go, Holthaus drops back to pass. He's got Watson in the flats. Taken down there. Complete for about 5 yards, I give it.
Yeah, that's senior Braden Barner there for Havana. Wrestles for Porta. Tough kid. Really nice play, too. Just settled on those hips. Didn't let any Drew Watson sort of shake and bake, fool him, and just brought him to the ground.
3rd and 5 for the Bombers, 9:35 to go. Holthaus will look to the far sideline. Comes back, set. Snap here, looks to throw. Got Watson once again. He's going to have a sports corner first down and more. Push this one up past the Havana 40 before finally being taken down. Pass play will go for about 12 there. So 2 completions early on for Holthaus, both to Drew Watson.
I think Havana watched the Mercer County tape because you can see that their defensive line is up. Ball's on the ground.
Holthaus trying to make something happen.
And the
with
ball's
the
on the ground again.
Yep.
And it's still on the ground, but we're on it.
Yep, I think Macomb's going to fall on that one. Not great execution there by the Bombers offense. Kind of bobbled the snap initially. Holthaus tried to make something happen, put the ball on the ground again, but luckily the Bombers were able to fall on it.
That snap might have been a little low, but I think that he tried to kind of scoop it and sort of swing it to the running back and just didn't have complete control of it.
So it'll go for a loss of 1, 2nd and 11. This handoff will come to Conley once again, and he's brought down at the line of scrimmage.
That's big number 75. That's a big human being right there. Sam Stummer, senior, 5'11", 225.
So Macomb now faced with a 3rd and 11. Holthouse drops back to pass. Got his case over the middle, puts it out a bit too far in front of him, not able to make the play, and that'll bring up 4th down. 8 minutes and 15 seconds to go here in quarter number 1.
So this is 4th and 11. That's a long 11, 4th and 12, but this is not punt territory, even though you're behind the chains. Number one, you got to trust your playmakers to make plays, but you're in plus territory. Really, you're looking at gaining 20 yards of field position maybe. You go for this all day long. Oh, huh. Is that on us?
No, I think that's going to be on the
No, he
Dugs.
did point to them. Now, interesting, because I tell you what, they start their D-line back far enough that when they jump, there's a ways for them to go before they get off sides. And that was pretty close. I think that was a favorable call for us, but we'll take it because now all of a sudden you got, 4th and a long 6, short 7. Much more manageable.
Yeah, absolutely. Again, 4th down for the Bombers offense. Trying to keep this drive rolling. Holthouse will look to pass, scrambles towards the Macomb sideline. He's going to have to tuck it in a run. He's got the 1st down and more. He runs to the Macomb sideline. He might go all the way.
And he takes that to the house, right through the Diggers College City Bull red zone. Does not stop. Into the end zone for the touchdown for number 11, Braden Holthouse.
Tom Conklin, State Farm touchdown for the Bombers offense and Braden Holthouse. Again, I don't think that was a design QB run. He was trying to pass that one, just tucked it. Was able to make a man miss there in the middle of the field, took it to the far sideline.
Yeah, they had a little tight wheel, a little swing by Malachi Conley, too, that was open, but he had pressure in his face, so he had to tuck that. He didn't have the throwing lane for that. Now he's on his feet on this way, going up. There it is. That's the jump ball to the big man.
2-point conversion is good. Holthouse to Case on that one. Not too many DBs are going to be able to make a play on that, jumping against Ian Case, especially when he's got the position there in the back of the end zone. So it's a quick Macomb lead, 8-0. Touchdown and 2-point conversion come at 8 minutes and 2 seconds. We'll take a quick break here on TSSR Game Time Live and be back with you for Havana's 2nd drive of the 1st quarter.
I chose the MDH OBGYN group because I've heard wonderful things about Dr. Smith. And upon entering the office, I really got along with everybody and got a warm feeling. The staff is warm and inviting and welcoming. It's a small community, so it's a really nice hospital to have here in the rural area. I continue to choose MDH because of the relationships I have. I really enjoy everybody here.
Welcome back to TSSR Game Time Live, presented by MDH for Honor Brothers Heating and Cooling's coverage of Bomber football as we're getting ready to wrap the season up here tonight. Again, that touchdown 2-point conversion came in 8 minutes and 2 seconds in the 1st quarter. Macomb will get set to kick off for Havana. That's number 25, Anthony Foster, all the way in the back looking to receive this one. They shoot squib up the middle, and Ducks will just dive on it there. That was number 53 on the Ducks side. Able to reel that one in.
So a couple of interesting storylines here. The Bombers 3-5. Obviously, this is the first what you call an empty week in the Tanner Horrell era, meaning that there is no playoffs next week. That's established. And they had that emotional run that came up short last week. That they got their mojo back for a little while, and it just came up short. How do you respond to that? So going down and getting into the end zone right away, there's a stop for a loss by Ian Case. He crashed down, did a great job of squeezing. We've talked about that all year, how we want to limit that space and really squeeze with our footwork. Comes down the heel line and makes that play. But that emotional, are you into this game knowing that there's no next week? And going down and punching that in right there, especially on a 4th down, I think that's huge for the Bombers. Now, a winless Havana team, which had such a great week 1, into the front. Oh, that's a pick right at the line by Langdon Lambert. He's going to the house. He's making a house call. Langdon Lambert with the pick 6.
Tom Conklin State Farm touchdown once again. Lambert read that one all the way, was able to jump the pass and took it in for 6 for the Bombers. 7 minutes and 15 seconds, the touchdown comes. Bombers lead 14-0 pending the 2-point conversion.
So now it's even more pertinent because you get down 8-0, and then you have not only a turnover, but a turnover that goes to the house. You know, after that great week 1 effort where, you know, the Rova program, they're 7-1, they're heading to the playoffs. And Havana had that game won, lost it in the last 30 seconds. So they played great week 1. And then the rest of the season just kind of hasn't gone the way they wanted. So you get down 16-0 now to this Macomb team. How do you respond? Are you able to keep coming back, keep punching? You know, it'll be interested to see how this goes.
So the pick 6 for Langdon Lambert on the Macomb side puts the Bombers up 16 now after the 2-point conversion pass was good to Ian Case. We'll thank some of our sponsors here on TSSR. With locations in Macomb and Augusta, and with 80 years of car sales experience, Ron Elby Auto Sales is your hometown go-to for your next car in Macomb on East Jackson Street. Stop in, talk to Justa, Jared, Chris, or visit www.lbsalescars.com to check out their inventory. Since 1960, Arnold Brothers Heating and Cooling has provided the greater Macomb area with expert sales, service, and installation of quality home comfort systems. Call your local Carrier dealer today at 309-833-2852 and find out how Arnold Brothers Heating and Cooling delivers 365 days of indoor comfort. So familiar sight here in the first quarter. Macomb will get ready for their 3rd kickoff of the game. Again, Bombers have the quick 16-point lead.
I keep looking out to my right for the scoreboard, but it's not there. It's to the left.
This kick will go out of bounds around the 40-yard line. Flags will, of course, come out.
Ooh. Blackhawks game was late last night. I didn't watch it, and I forgot to check the score today. My nephew was there. He's a huge Avalanche fan, and I'm glad he didn't take my wager idea because the Avalanche, which is just such a superior, deep program, put it on the Blackhawks last night.
Handoff comes up the middle. That one's going to go for some positive yardage there. Gain of about 3 on the carry. Looked like that was number 11.
Braden Barner?
Yep, Braden Barner. That's going to set up 2nd down for the Ducks offense. 2nd and 7 after a 3-yard carry. Olson will hand it off up the middle once again. Pyle will push forward a few more yards.
Yeah, he gets a few on that one. He gets a couple, and that's a really great job by the interior line because that defensive call, it looked like they were going to have a 3-3 stack with, obviously the jack safety in Macomb's defense never plays back, always comes up. But where are they coming up? And then all of a sudden everybody peels off, and they went 7 across or 5 across with 2 back, and going up the gut, there was a lot of space there, but D lineman made a nice, yep.
Ball's out on the field once again.
Yep.
Flags come down.
Yeah, and they do. And here's what happened. Ian Case makes a nice play, crashes through the line, goes after the running back, but in trying to reach to grab pad to bring him down, he caught the face mask.
So Macomb did recover the fumble. Again, flag is down on the play. No official signal yet.
No, they did. It was face mask.
I must have missed it.
Macomb. Yep.
So that will negate the fumble, and the Ducks will gain a few yards there. 15 on the face mask call, so that puts them into Macomb territory on the 45. Just under 6 minutes to go in quarter number 1.
Unfortunate. That's just one of those things. You're coming through the line and you're 6'5", 6'7", whatever he is, and you're just reaching across, and he just happened to catch that face mask.
Olsen takes a snap. Handoff comes to Green once again. Takes it to the far sideline. Going to gain some there.
You know what? That's a really nice job by number 2, the sophomore, Kylan McMillan. That running back had a full head of steam and nasty intentions. Went to just truck him over, and he held on to the legs and made a play. He doesn't make that play. That's a house call.
So it was about an 8-9 yard carry there for Caden Green, number 22 on the Ducks offense. They are now set up on 2nd and 1. Starting to pushing the ball a little bit better on this drive. Olsen takes a snap, drops back to pass, got a man over the middle. That pass is complete to number 11, Braden Barner. And he's still on his feet there, brings that one past the 20.
I tell you what, this is a moment right here in a football game. Defense has got to step up. They got to be engaged. They got to make a play, because what you want to squash right now is any hope, any sort of thought of, hey, we're in this. You want to extinguish that right now, get that football back in your offense's hand, and march down the field.
So that set up a new set of downs for the Ducks offense. Olsen drops back to pass once again, pressured a little bit there in the backfield. He's going to take it towards the Macomb sideline and be brought down. Big hit there on the far sideline.
I think he peeled off of it, though, and got a few. That was a good, tough run by the quarterback.
Yeah, you're going to pick up about 5 yards there, 4 yards. Nice run by Olsen. 4 minutes, 15 seconds to go in quarter number 1. They'll give him 5 on the carry. Olsen once again will hand this one off to Caden Green. Pushes it up the middle. Picked up a couple there. About 2. Green up to 4 carries in this game.
Big third down right here. I understand this is 4 down territory, but you make this stop and you make a TFL right here, and all of a sudden that changes the complexion of that 4th down play.
Absolutely. 3rd and 3 for the Ducks offense. Working in Macomb territory. Handoff to Green once again. He's going to have the 1st down and more.
Now that's what we were kind of talking about before. That Macomb defense was almost in a straight line across the line of scrimmage. So if one guy loses their gap or tries to make the play where they go around the block instead of through the block, it opens up a hole. Running back finds that hole. He did a nice little plant, his right foot, his inside foot, nice little jump cut, and was able to pick up a 1st down.
So he's going to set up 1st and goal for the Ducks here. Handoff will come up the middle once again. Powell's going to push forward a little bit there. And give him about a yard on the carry. That was Barner once again. Two minutes and 35 seconds in the first quarter. 6 yards to go until the goal line. Ducks threatening to punch one in here on the Bombers. Olsen drops back to pass. Play is blown dead.
Timeout.
Got a timeout. Yep, timeout charged to the Ducks. We'll take a quick break as well. You're listening to TSSR Game Time Live, presented by MDH.
At Western Illinois University, Leathernecks don't just blend in. Our purple stands out. Our students are innovative, creative, and resilient. At WIU, there is limitless potential, with campuses in Macomb, the Quad Cities, and online. Visit wiu.edu/potential to become a Leatherneck and get an education that stands out.
I see acute injuries on the field. I see ankle sprains. I see ACL knee injuries, as well as in the clinic. It's very rewarding to see them from on the field injury to rehab to transition back to their event.
Back here at Havana High School, Ducks threatening to punch one in on the Bombers. 2nd and 6 to the goal for this Ducks offense. And what a big answer it would be if Havana is able to get one in here on the Bombers. They find themselves in a 2-score hole. 2 minutes and 18 seconds to go in the first quarter. Low snap, ball is on the ground. Olsen dives on top of it.
Blow that, yes.
Yep. So Havana will move backwards.
That was going to be the direct snap to Braden Barnett. Are they alternating quarterbacks?
I'm not sure. I think they're putting Barner in the backfield. I'm not sure if he's lining up at quarterback or not.
He did there. I don't know if that was a Wildcat or if I missed a couple of.
It's also once again
13,
scrambles, pass will fall incomplete.
Under heavy pressure by both Big Ian Case and the freshman sensation Drake May. He just did all he could to get rid of the football, especially being inside the tackles. And Ian's coming from the outside, and Drake May's coming right up in his grill. He didn't really have anywhere to go. He just had to get rid of that football.
So that'd be 4th and 13. Of course, Ducks in 4-down territory here, trying to score on the Bombers. 13 yards to go until the goal line. Olsen fakes the handoff to Green. There's a rollout under more pressure, throws over the middle. Had a man in the end zone there, might have threw it a little bit behind him. That was number 10 back there. Landon Oatman was the intended receiver, but that's going to be a turnover on downs, and Macomb will take possession here with the lead 16-0.
It was underneath coverage, but I think that coverage wasn't bad, especially for the type of throw that came by Jack Beal. And he might have even got a hand on it and knocked that ball away. So now we got double twins, which is a very, very traditional over the last 7-8 years Macomb formation.
Holthouse will look to throw this one away. Pump fakes the pass, but he's going to be sacked there. Big play by the Ducks defense. I believe that was number 75 on the stop. Sam Stumer. Again, we talked earlier in the game. Came up with a big play earlier on. Gets the big sack there. Macomb will lose about 10.
And that's unfortunate because we had Drew Watson from his slot position running a seam and was pulling away from his defenders. Already had 3-4 yards. And there's been some zip on the football from Braden Holthouse tonight. I'd like to see what he can do going downfield. Obviously it hasn't been there the last few weeks.
Holthouse brings this one to the near sideline, lobs it up for Watson. Ball's fought for, and it pops out. Pass will fall incomplete there. Nice coverage there in the secondary on the Ducks defense.
Yeah, and that's not what we've seen the last few weeks. That ball was thrown well. It was thrown so that Drew had to go get it, but they had over-the-top coverage. They had trail coverage and over-the-top safety help, and that over-the-top safety came up and made that play.
So 3rd and 19 now for the Bombers offense. 38 seconds to go in quarter number 1. Fake snap, a little bit of movement. Didn't cross the plane there. Combe resets. Holthouse drops back to pass once again. Lobs this one towards the far sideline. He's got a man wide open. That's Ian Case down the far sideline. He splits it back to the middle.
He's still going. One man to beat.
20, 15, 10, 5.
He's in.
He's tripped up,
He's
but
in.
it's going to be a touchdown.
Touchdown, Ian Case.
Huge play from Holthouse to Case there.
That's on 3rd and 13 from what, the 10-yard line?
Yeah, I believe so.
That's a 90-yard touchdown pass to Big Ian Case, and he won that foot race right at the last second. He had to stretch out a little bit before those knees touched the ground, but he gets himself into the end zone for the Bomber Tom Conklin touchdown. And again, they're strolling right through the Diggers College City Bowl red zone. They're not interested in Friday Night Bowl, but we are. And we're going to finish up this game and head up there. I can tell you that right now.
Absolutely. Pass this time. Maybe a little bit of miscommunication there on the routes. I believe Holt House was trying to get that to Watson. Maybe didn't break in as soon as he expected. 2-point conversion falls incomplete. Bombers lead 22-0. Touchdown comes with just 20 seconds to go in the first quarter. We'll keep it here for this one. Thanks some of our sponsors. The Old Dairy, located at 210 South Lafayette Street, Macomb, Illinois, serving soups, salads, sandwiches, homemade dessert, Blue Bunny ice cream, and a full-service coffee bar. Breakfast served all day and free Wi-Fi. Visit them online at www.olddairyMacomb.com or call 309-837-6700 for your takeout. Macomb's original local sports bar is the Sports Corner at 124 with a focus on local sports. Catch WIU games and all of the area TSSR Game Time live broadcasts at Sports Corner at 124. All while enjoying your favorite cold drink and some of the best food in West Central Illinois. Stop in and say hi at 124 North Randolph Street in Macomb. So Bombers now have a 22-0 lead over the Ducks here in the first quarter after the long touchdown pass from Holt House to Case. Give him 90 yards on the completion there. Comes set to kick off once again. Squib this one towards the middle. Ball will be recovered. Attempt for a return here. Nice coverage by the Macomb kicking team.
Yeah, the coverage team right there. And in particular, Malachi Conley, what a beautiful job staying outside of the hip, making sure that there's no bounce to that. Keeps him funneled into the middle of the field where the coverage team is coming and limits that to about a 3-4 yard pickup. I tell you, I apologize. I got a text from one of my coworkers. Tonight's my little girl's first middle school dance in her life. They just sent me a little video of her dancing with some buddies. And Dad gets Dad a little bit, you know. I wish I was there, but we do what we do.
This is going to be a direct snap to Barner. And I think they are kind of cycling Barner and Olsen in playing quarterback back there, Tony. That one was a direct snap to Barner. He's able to take it through the middle of the line there, pick up a few for the Ducks. But the first quarter will expire here. Bombers lead 22-0 right here on TSSR Game Time Live, presented by MDH. We'll be back with you before the start of the second quarter. Again, you're listening to Arnold Brothers Heating and Cooling's coverage of Bombers football.
I'm a pretty calm, cool, and collective guy, but... Sorry, what's next to each other? That's bad. 2 white boxes. Evan?
Back here in Havana, Illinois, Bombers lead 22-0 at the start of quarter number 2. Ducks have the football. This will be Olsen. It's going to hand off to, I believe that's Green once again.
That was a slow developing play, and it looked like that the footwork was a little off. I'm not sure if it was the quarterback needed a tighter reverse pivot or if the running back came too close to the hip, but it changed the footwork and slowed down the play and allowed the Bombers lineman to step in the way and limit that to, I think it was no gain.
Yeah, virtually no gain on the run play there to Green. 3rd and 6 now for the Ducks offense. Olsen takes the snap. Throws this one out to number 1, Carter Brooks, but he's going to be brought down there.
Jack Beal.
Yeah, great tackle there by Jack Beal, able to wrap up.
So if you're going to give, he gave a big cushion. He gave a deep 7-8 yard cushion, and if you're going to do that, you see that hitch, you see those feet in the ground, you got to be able to come down in a hurry, especially on a 3rd down play like that. And Jack Beal did it perfectly. Just comes down and holds on. And makes that play and sets up a 4th and 2 here. Big play.
4th and 2 play coming for the Ducks. It's going to be a handoff to Green, and I think he's going to be short.
Bomber football.
It's going to be close.
Whoa.
They're going to say first down.
Oh, my goodness.
They're not even going to measure it.
What just... That's interesting.
It was definitely close. I thought it was short initially. I'm surprised they didn't even
I didn't even think it was that close because that where the pin was looked like it was up closer to the 44, but doesn't matter. It's a first down.
Yeah, first down Ducks here, fresh set of downs, 10 minutes and 15 seconds to go in quarter number 2. Olsen takes a snap, gonna throw a quick pass out there.
Wow,
nice break up there on
play.
the outside.
Let me get a number. That's Connor Bishop, the senior, came down in a hurry, read it, diagnosed it, saw the swing route, the little now coming out. They're trying to set up a wide receiver screen on a bubble route, and he came down and tripped that up in a hurry. Almost wish the receiver would have caught it, because that would have been a loss of about 6 or 7.
Yeah, it would have. Great coverage on the outside there from the senior Connor Bishop. Brings up 2nd and 10 now for Havana. Olsen will hand this one off to Green once again. Nice tackle there. That's number 77 for Macomb. That's Alex Brown. Able to make the stop there. Virtually no gain on the play for Green. And it'll set up 3rd down. Clock rolls under 9:40. Again, 3rd and 10 play here for the Ducks. Bombers have done a pretty nice job limiting the Ducks offense so far in this contest. Olsen drops back to pass once again. Pass over the middle.
Dangerous.
Yeah, it could have been close to a pass interference there, but it's going to be broken up by Jack Beal. Looked like he kind of pushed him in the back there. I'm surprised the flags didn't come out. Going to fall for another incompletion.
I saw it looked like 25's route was bringing him into that trail route, and there were 3 defenders in the area. That's why I said dangerous. That was a dangerous pass, because there were 3 white shirts in between the quarterback and the receiver.
So 4th and 10 here. It appears the Ducks are going to go for it. Olsen takes the snap. He's going to be pressured by Macomb. Had hands on it temporarily. He throws the ball downfield. It's going to be caught there. And this ball is going to be brought up almost to the 15. Big pass play there. Goes from the 44 in Havana territory all the way up to about the 16 in Bombers territory.
And that's a busted coverage. There was a trailer that needed to be carrying one of those routes, because you ended up with 3 maroon jerseys within about a 10-yard area there, and only 2 white jerseys. So we had 2 cover and 3. And in fact, we had the under guy covered, the over guy covered. The other guy just really kind of settles in between and makes that play.
Of course, that's a new set of downs. Clock rolls under 9
nice
minutes.
play, Ian Case on the jet sweep. Read it, came up, blew it up. Boy, that's a loss of, they are spotting it right there at the 25. That's a loss of 8 yards.
That was Anthony Foster on the carry. Unofficially his first of the game, goes for negative yardage. Tony, did you see who caught that big pass play there?
I didn't. I apologize. I did not
We'll
get
go.
that
We'll
number.
go back and get that before halftime. Make sure we get our stats in right there. 8 minutes 30 seconds to go. 2nd and 18 after the big TFL by Ian Case. Olsen gonna lob this one up to the end zone. Past the outstretched arms of Carter Brooks. Not able to reel it in. Go for another incompletion. Sets up 3rd and 18, 8 minutes, 17 seconds.
We've talked about this with our team in the past, but 3rd and 18, you look at that, and that's daunting, but you got to understand that you're in 4-down territory. You do not need the home run here. Havana just needs to pick up enough of that yardage to make 4th down manageable and be able to open up the playbook. What you don't want is to be in a situation where, you take a sack and push it back even further. But if you're at, if you go for the home run, you don't hit on it, now you're at 4th and 18, and really you only have one option, and that's to push the ball down the field. You can go screen, you can go under route and hope one of your guys is able to make a play, your athlete beats their athlete, but realistically, you have to push the ball down the field. But if you get, say, half of that back, and now you're at 4th and 9, now you've got options. Now you've got things you can do.
So Ducks are charged with a timeout there. We'll take this break. I'm going to give 2 quick shout-outs here. First of all, I'm going to give one to my mother, who's out running camera here tonight. Taken Perry not able to join us, so she's filling in. She does a lot here at TSSR Game Time Live, always printing out rosters and such for the West Prairie games. My second shout out is going to go to my score sheets that have been with me since the South Fork game, West Prairie versus South Fork. I believe that was the week that Macomb played Breeze Mater Dei. These score sheets are pretty beat up, but they are still getting the job done, and I think they're just waiting for this night to end so I can put them out of their misery. This pass is going to be complete to Caden Green to push that one up to the 15. Pretty decent gain there, about 10 yards. So it's up 4th down for Havana. 4th and 10, 7 minutes, 45 seconds.
It's almost exactly what they wanted. They got half the yardage back.
Seven minutes, 35 seconds. Havana in the red zone. Olsen with Green in the backfield. Draws back to pass. Throws it over the middle. That one's going to be broken up and picked off by the Bombers. That's number 12, Langdon Lambert.
So the second interception of the night. Forward progress brings that out to about the 2.
So what a night already for Langdon Lambert, the junior, I believe, first-year football player, right?
That is correct, 100%.
Coming through with 2 interceptions. One went for 6. That one coming up big as Havana was pushing into Macomb red zone. Threatening to punch that one in, but able to get the tip drill, able to reel that in, and Bombers will take over. Basically, right at their own goal line there.
Now, if you're going to say anything, the young man that hasn't played football, you slap that one to the ground, and that ball's back out to the whatever it was, around the 15 maybe. And other than at the 2-yard line. But in the heat of the moment, how do you
Yeah,
you make that interception, you get the ball, which he did. I mean, a great play. Now, this is a great opportunity now in the shadow of the end zone here for the Bombers to get this running game going.
Absolutely, 6 minutes, 45 seconds. Holthouse going to look to pass here, scramble towards the far sideline. Got a man downfield. That's Watson. Goes up with one hand, can't reel it in. Tight coverage down the field by Carter Brooks.
You know what, though? Nice, strong throw. Nice, strong throw.
Yeah, and that's nice to see out of Holthouse. Again, kind of dealing with injuries since the Farmington game. I remember last week there in Aledo, the arm didn't look where it was to start the beginning of the season, but as you mentioned earlier, definitely putting a lot more mustard on it, a little more zip on the ball coming out of Holthouse's hand tonight.
I do think when he sees that on film, he's going to see that he had a whole lot of grass in front of him if he tucks that ball down.
Handoff will come.
There we go. There we go.
Nice run play there by the Bombers.
It's about an 8-yard run. That's the biggest run play of the night.
That was Malachi Conley on the carry. Picks up the Sports Corner first down as the Bombers continue to roll here. 6 minutes and 25 seconds to go in quarter number 2. Holthouse will hand off to Conley once again. This time brought down. Maybe a short 1-yard gain there. 1 or 2. We'll give him 1. Sets up in 2nd and 9. Clock rolls under 6 minutes. Holthouse has a quick screen out for Case. Bobbled it. Couldn't reel it in. Getting ready. That's one of those things, kind of maybe took your eye off the ball before you had it completely in the hands, trying to make a move upfield. This pass will fall incomplete. Sets up a Bomber 3rd down here. Bombers have the ball on about their own 16. Holthouse scrambles towards the far sideline, looking downfield. He's got Watson. It's going to be a Sports Corner first down and more. Makes one man miss, brings this one up to the 35 in Macomb territory. Fresh set of downs for the Bombers. Clock is 5 minutes, 25 seconds. Holthouse will hand off to Conley once again, brings it around the far sideline, and he's going to be brought down for a loss. Ball was out. I think Conley got the knee down.
I think the ball went out of bounds anyway.
So it'll be a loss on the play for the Bombers. Be a loss of 3 there. 2nd and 13. Holthouse back to pass once again. Throws it over the middle for Watson. It's going to be broken up. Flag's going to come down. That'll be pass interference. That was number 1, Carter Brooks there.
That was a one-route play right there, what they did. And a lot of times, and we've talked about this, and I've been remiss not to mention, we talk about that freeze play, and the Bombers have gotten a lot of yards, a lot of free yards on that. But it's not always just about the free yards. A lot of times, what Tanner's trying to do is find out if the defensive coordinator on the other sideline is gonna show his hand. And that time they did, big time. Outside linebacker came screaming down and didn't reset, stayed right there. So obviously he's coming, pressure's coming, hot route. What you're looking for then when you bring that up is one-on-one to the solo receiver, but they had a bracket coverage on him. They had another guy out there, so he was in double coverage. But they saw that linebacker. Oh, that's a big run to Connor Bishop.
Yeah, Bishop's able to push this one out around the Havana 43.
But they saw that linebacker come up and show blitz and really thought, hey, we're going to get one-on-one with our guy in the ISO. And they actually had another safety coming over. They had 2 guys on the solo route.
Sports Corner first down for Connor Bishop and the Bombers. 4 minutes, 45 seconds to go before the halftime intermission. Holthouse takes a snap, quick throw out to Case, spins off one man, able to break the tackle there, breaks it towards the middle of the field, got room to run. He's still on his feet after taking another hit. Nice run after catch there by Ian Case, able to bring this one all the way out to about the Havana 13-yard line. Nice job there by Case. Gave it to him kind of on a short route there, but able to get things done after the catch.
Clutched that ball with one arm. I'd really like to see that covered over, but did just such a phenomenal job of keeping his legs going. Works to the middle of the field. They crash on the middle of the field. He starts sliding it back outside. Picked up a lot of yak on that play.
Handoff will be a run play up the middle, swallowed up at the line. Not too much going there, about a yard on the play. Four minutes to go now. Again, this drive for the Bombers started all the way back at their own goal line. Able to push into the Diggers College City Bowl red zone. Holthouse going to lob it up for Watson, and that's going to be a Tom Conklin State Farm touchdown. Holthouse to Watson there.
That was a really nice football, too. He throws that before Watson breaks the route. The defender's in position, but he flips his hips to Watson, and the ball's thrown behind him, and Watson curls around him and makes the catch behind him. So that was really a great timing route right there. Braden Holthouse did a great job of throwing the ball where he's going, not where he is.
Bombers were set up to go for 2, looking to push this thing out to 30. Holthouse is taken down in the backfield. Throws it away. Nice pressure there. That was Green and Barner, I believe, able to take Holthouse down. So touchdown comes at 3 minutes and 34 seconds. Bombers no good on the 2-point conversion. We'll take a quick break here as you're listening to Honor Brothers Heat and Cooling's presentation of Bombers football.
I chose MDH. We moved here, and I was researching different places that would allow me to VBAC, have a vaginal birth after C-section, and the doctors here do encourage that, and so I chose that after looking online, and I wouldn't want to deliver anywhere else because they all go above and beyond, and they're so kind and actually care about you.
Back here in Havana, Illinois, Bombers lead 28-0 over Havana. That was basically a 99-yard drive. Started all the way back at the Bombers' own goal line, able to punch it in for 6. 2-point conversion falls incomplete. The Bombers will get set to kick this one away. Touchdown comes at 3 minutes and 34 seconds. Blaine Eddington back to kick once again. Hits this one a little bit higher. Return is going to be picked up by Brock Ellett. Going to take this one down. Another nice coverage there. Able to bring him down around the Ducks' 20-yard line. So Havana will have a lot of room to work here.
There was no return on that. So that ball bounces in front of the return guy. It was kicked downfield, but in front of the deep guys. He goes up, has trouble picking it up the first time. When he gets the ball, the coverage had done a great job of sprinting down the field, bottled him in, brought him down right on the spot. High school football game, you limit that to the 20-yard line. That's great starting position for a defense.
Absolutely. So again, Ducks take over at their own 20-yard line. Fresh set of downs, 1st and 10. Handoff's going to come up the middle. Decent run there. I believe is that number 25 on the carry?
Yes.
It sure was. Anthony Foster, his 2nd carry of the game, goes for positive yards this time.
About 6.
Yep, about 6 on the carry there. Again, Havana's going to be working against the clock here, trying to score before the halftime intermission. 3 minutes to go. Wilson takes a snap, pitches it out to Green. Handoff comes back the other way. Nice tackle there
by the senior
Yep.
Connor Bishop. And we've talked about this before. Connor Bishop is playing that CBR role on that ball away. You can't just fly out. Ball away, you're the CBR guy. That means cut back, boot, reverse. So you're cutting, and what we used to teach is say those words in your head. Cut back, bootleg, reverse. And that gives you enough time. You get through that, down, you can go and trail the play. But you're staying there, you're on the heel line, making sure that there's no cut underneath you, just pursuing down the line. Connor Bishop did it perfectly, wipes out the ankles and blows up that play for a huge loss.
Ducks will take their final timeout of the half. We'll keep it here for this one once again. 2 minutes and 13 seconds.
Yeah, and this is huge. I would not be surprised to see a run play here, see if maybe they can poke one through, pick up a 1st down. But really, they need time off that clock, because what you do not want to do is hand the ball back to the Bombers with 2 minutes left. You know, you throw an incomplete pass, they get the ball back with 2 minutes and all 3 timeouts in their pocket. Bad things can happen there. You don't want this to get any worse than 28 right now.
Yeah, so this is really a big drive for the Ducks offense. Again, they have no timeouts remaining. Bombers have all 3. 2 minutes, 13 seconds to go. 3rd and 9 play on the way. And again, if the Bombers are able to get this one back with all 3 timeouts, could be a world of hurt for the Ducks heading into halftime. They're going to drop back to pass. Olsen going to be brought down under pressure. Initial pressure there by Langdon Lambert.
Now that's obviously a bad result. You get sacked, you're losing more yards, you end up giving up another 6 yards, 7 yards. However, you're going to be punting it anyway. Incomplete pass would have killed the clock. You're now able to take, that full 40 seconds off the clock for the turnover play. I would be shocked if this punter didn't wait for the arm to go. They did not wait for the arm to go.
They're going to punt it away right away.
They gave the Bombers some time.
Watson will be on the return. I believe the flag came out there. Watson able to make a cut towards the near sideline. Decent return there. Did that ref throw a flag there at the 50? Something came out of his pocket.
It's a marker for where he caught the ball.
Oh, okay. Didn't catch that initially, so it'll be a big return there for Watson.
So now a minute 26, all 3 timeouts, and they're already in not just positive territory, but they're at about the 28-yard line, 27-yard line. They're knocking on the door of the Diggers College City red zone.
Yeah, just under a minute 30 to work with. And again, Bombers have all 3 timeouts. They're in positive territory. Full house. Deep ball downfield. That one's going to be up and caught by Jack Beal. And that'll be another Bombers touchdown.
Well, ultimately, it wasn't really a huge concern how much time was on the clock because that's a one-play drive right there. And again, real nice tight spiral, real nice ball down the field by Braden Holdhouse. Really like the way the elbow looks, which is great news for Jeremy Anderson going into basketball season and, of course, Coach Lambert for baseball season. So everybody's happy with what they're seeing out of Braden Holdhouse tonight.
Bombers set up to go for 2. They decide to run this one.
He gets in.
Yep. That would be a touchdown. That was Connor Bishop on the carry, punches it in for 2.
And here's the thing. Bombers get the ball back after half.
So that touchdown came at a minute and 18 seconds. The Tom Conklin State Farm touchdown, I should say. We'll thank some of our sponsors here. Face-to-face, over the phone, by email, or by text. Choose how you do business with Tom Conklin State Farm Macomb. You can reach them at 309-837-1200 or visit them online at www.macombsf.com. Better yet, stop in and get your quote today at 1221 West Jackson Street in Macomb. King Family Chiropractic, with locations in Bushnell and Macomb, support all area student athletics. They offer office hours in Macomb Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, and Bushnell Tuesday, Thursday, and Friday. To set up an appointment, call 309-837-6932. They also perform DOT/CDL physicals for just $85. So a big lead now for the Macomb team, up 36-0. Again, that touchdown pass to Jack Beal came with 1 minute and 18 seconds to go before halftime. Case is getting set to kick this one off.
Now, 36-0, I do not anticipate to see. Oh, the ball goes through his legs, picks it up, tries to get something going, but again, that Bomber coverage team is down there. So I don't anticipate seeing this, but with a 36-0 lead. But what you could see in these situations, Bombers have all 3 timeouts. Timeout after every play and try and get that ball back with 30, 40 seconds. But I don't anticipate that. I think that they're perfectly content to go to halftime with a 36-0 lead, provided they can close out this first half.
Absolutely. Ducks again will take over with 1 minute and 10 seconds to work with here.
I think they're going to try and push the ball. They're in trips.
Yep, Olsen drops back to pass, scrambles towards the near sideline. Kind of ran some short routes there on the outside, and Olsen's going to be brought down.
He's able to get away from big Ian Case, but right underneath, trailing that, I think was that Connor Bishop?
Connor Bishop, yep, number 8 on the stop there.
Getting a sack.
It appears that they'll just let the clock roll here. Second and 11 play, 45 seconds. Olsen back to pass once again. Quick hitter outside for Brooks.
And they keep him in bounds.
Yep, he's going to be brought down by Jack Beal. Brooks stays. No, clock is stopped.
First down.
Oh, there it is.
No, the third down. Why is that clock stopped?
It was stopped for a second. They got it rolling now. Not sure there. Pass play goes for about 10 yards there after the 1 yard sack. So it's about 3rd and 1, 15 seconds to go.
There are things that confuse me here.
Ducks quick pass over the middle, almost picked off there by Langdon Lambert once again. So the clock will stop there on the incompletion. 7 seconds to go, 4th and 1. And again,
I'm confused because they're trying to push the ball down the field, but yet there's not a lot of urgency. Like they're huddling, They're letting the clock wind down. The receiver didn't try to get out of bounds. So I would think if you're trying to push the ball, we're going to save those seconds. And now deep in their own territory, it looks like they're going to try and wing it downfield. No, they're going to try a
quick hitter. I think that
they just gave the ball back.
Yeah, that's going to be incomplete. So Macomb will take over with 3 seconds, and that's going to be right around the 20-yard line. So Macomb can take a shot at the end zone here at the end of quarter number 2. Again, 3 seconds on the clock. Time enough for basically one play.
I could see him taking a knee here. I can see him taking a knee here. Yeah, they're going to take a knee.
That looks like that's what they're going to do. Holthouse is going to line up under center here. Yep, Holthouse will take a knee, and that'll conclude the first half of play. Bombers up 36-0 here in Havana. See the Bombers coming off the field there. We'll be back with you before the start of the second half. We'll get some stats for you between them. We'll be back in about 15 minutes. Got a quick halftime interview queued up for you guys. And again, you're listening to TSSR Game Time Live's coverage of Macomb Bombers' final regular season game, final game of the season, as the Bombers will miss the playoffs this year. Again, first time in the Tanner Horrell era. So we'll be back with you for Honor Brothers Heating and Cooling's presentation of Bomber football right after this halftime break.
I enjoy working at MDH because it's a smaller hospital.
It's just a great environment to be in.
These people are amazing, and my boss is amazing. We help each other out. It makes the working environment more enjoyable compared to other places I've worked at.
It's not just like the people that I work with, but everyone in this hospital. They're all very friendly, very kind, very receptive to outsiders and new people.
You know, work is not just about the job, it's also about the people that work alongside you, and we have the best teamwork. They're like a second family, and sometimes you can't get that feeling other places.
I believe our departments here are very cohesive because we are a relatively small community. So not only do we know each other through our professional roles at McDonough District Hospital, but we very much see each other in the community as well. And so I think we have a strong respect for one another, our diversity in backgrounds, but yet all coming together for one common goal, and that's strong patient care.
Working in the emergency room is different from any other part of the hospital because I do a lot of hands-on patient care in a very high-paced, high-energy setting. You see anywhere from a stubbed toe all the way to really intense patients like cardiac arrest, so it's a huge learning environment. We never see the same thing twice, even if they come in with the same complaint. There's always an opportunity to learn, even with your stubbed toe patients.
In the emergency department, if you want to really use your nursing skills and your critical thinking at work, ER is definitely for a new grad. Working here just for the past couple months as an actual nurse, I've used a lot of my nursing skills I've learned in nursing school, and I've used a lot of my critical thinking skills. It just makes me feel good about myself, being able to help people that need help, that need to be taken care of.
You get the opportunity to see so many different things that if you worked at a bigger hospital, you may not be able to see. So that's probably what I think is most unique. We have a lot of travelers that come here and they're like, oh my gosh, you guys get to do that? Or wow, you get to see that? And I'm just used to the, level 4 and 5 and the more what we would classify as the more simpler patients, not the more complex and in-depth patients. So I think that's what's the most interesting part.
Working in acute makes it so special is the bond that each of us share. We all have a close-knit bond, especially with the ones that I started working out with when I first became a nurse, and the teamwork is tremendous.
Working on acute care as a new graduate would be a great learning experience. We see a wide variety of patients, surgicals, orthopedics, general medical, heart failure, diabetes. It's a wide variety that gives you a lot to learn from. Your basic nursing skills that you learned in nursing school will be used on acute care with all the different patient population, and to put what you've learned in a skills lab to practice with your patient population.
We have a great team of nurses that work in home care. Sometimes in home care we get into some situations where the level of care is very high at home and there's a lot of resources needed, and just setting up a total plan to meet the patient's needs, that's where the nurses need some help. They can care for the patients extremely well. Nurses who work in home care will tell you one of the biggest satisfiers about being a home care nurse is the variety of patients that you see. In one day's time, you may visit a person who has a chronic respiratory illness, then a person who is a cardiac patient, then a wound, and then maybe a new ostomy. So the skill set is a varied skill set, but that's also the same thing that really entices some nurses, because they feel like they are always learning and they're getting to use many, many skills and not just in one specialized area.
I do pre-op and post-op in the surgery department, and what makes it special is we get a lot of one-on-one time with our patients when they're awake, and I guess when they're asleep too, but more importantly when they're awake. I get to hear their stories, who they are. I'm not from this area, so it's really interesting for me to have that one-on-one time with them. So yeah, I think that's what makes it most special. The thing about surgery, especially at MDH, a lot of our surgeries are outpatient. So we're scheduled 7 to 3:30. So typically we're here early in the morning, and then we leave by 3:30. So it's nice, 8-hour shift, Monday through Friday. We get our holidays off and weekends off usually.
I chose surgery because I really liked human anatomy. That was one of my favorite classes. During nursing school, I got to observe a couple different surgical procedures, and I just loved it. So in surgery, you have to have a lot of teamwork because there's many different areas that are providing care for the same patient. Surgery, you don't learn that in school. Like you learn everything on the job. So when you're starting out with nursing, like you're fresh, you don't have, any, like you're just in a sponge ready to absorb. And I think surgery is the perfect place for that.
ICU is special because the patients are a lot more ill than they would be on acute care, but you also have lower patient load. So it allows you to really focus in on each patient's care and be able to really take your time with, the drips and whatever the treatment plan is. The excitement about coming to work every day is absolutely, you don't know what's going to be here when you get here.
It takes a special person to be able to jump right in and dive into ICU from the get-go. I mean, I've seen people do it. I've worked with great nurses that have done it. But in my experience, I enjoyed working in acute care, getting my experience, and then cross-training as soon as I can. Don't be scared to volunteer and say, I'll do that, let me cross-train. Don't be scared to do that. Just always be willing to experience different things.
I think my favorite part about being in staff development is being able to mentor and collaborate with all the staff, getting to know all the faces of all the staff and be able to work with them to watch their growth. Also knowing how to educate, being able to educate in different ways. People learn differently. Some people are going to learn more auditory, some people are going to need to do more of the hands-on tactile skills. So just being able to adapt that orientation to be able to provide the education where they're going to get the most out of it. I think the biggest thing is being a resource for our staff throughout the orientation, as well as, we're still there as a continued resource throughout their whole employment to be able to continue their education.
OB is the best job I've ever had, probably the toughest job I've ever had, just because
it can change on a dime. Everything can be going fine, and then all of a sudden it's not. And you have to be prepared for that, and you have to be prepared to care for 2 patients at once, one that you can see and one that you can't see. I've had my babies here. I've had one of my babies in this room almost 14 years ago. It's just an incredible amount of teamwork that goes on. It's an incredible amount of trust, and most of the time it's fun to see a new person come into the world and, you know, celebrate with those parents.
OB is exciting, and you never know what can happen and what can walk in the door. But at the same time, you get to really give total holistic care in OB, as in you get to really see the emotional side of patients, and then you also get to help them physically too. So it's just a really good feeling. I look forward to having my babies here someday, because I know that my coworkers / good friends are going to take amazing care of me. And I know the providers will completely support me and my baby as well.
We hope that future nurses of MDH will choose us, and those who are already here will want to continue on, because we have such a strong sense of team, whether it's the teamwork within a department between shifts or interdepartmentally when they do a handoff between one department to another. It's just a very strong sense of team and support for one another, and a great respect for everyone's various roles, because it takes the whole team for all of us to be successful and for the patient to have a good outcome.
In a small community like ours, shopping locally can make a big difference. Did you know you can shop locally for your home internet? While you're powering your devices with super fast fiber internet, you also get to be a part of something bigger than yourself. Every dollar you spend on our services goes to making our town a better place to live, work, and play. You're helping us support local education, build a stronger sense of community, and keep money right here in our local economy. Thank you for choosing your local internet provider. We're proud to keep you connected.
The industry-first 2-in-1 removable agitator from Whirlpool gives you 2 ways to wash. Jeans, in. Sweaters, out. Towels, in. Comforters, out. You decide. Whirlpool.
I see acute injuries on the field. I see ankle sprains. I see ACL knee injuries, as well as in the clinic. It's very rewarding to see them from on-the-field injury to rehab to transition back to their event.
After my appointment that day, I just made up my mind that I'm going to have my baby here in Macomb and this hospital, because irrespective of where you're from, who you are, it's just their line of duty to make sure they give care, make you comfortable.
I thought about the staff of MDH, you know, they're all good. And you will get all the support you need. This is just the best place for you and your family.
At Western Illinois University, leathernecks don't just blend in. Our purple stands out. Our students are innovative, creative, and resilient. At WIU, there's limitless potential, with campuses in Macomb, the Quad Cities, and online. Visit wiu.edu/potential to become a leatherneck and get an education that stands out.
Back here in Havana. Once again, the Bombers are leading 36-0 over the Havana Ducks as we come out of the halftime break here. About 1 minute to go, and then we'll get the mandatory warm-up time. John Burton here. We're going to bring you some scores from around the TSSR Game Time live broadcast, as well as some halftime stats. We'll go over first, starting for the Havana Ducks. Number 13, Caden Olson, the quarterback, rushing tonight at -2 yards. Number 22, Caden Green, has 8 carries for 11 yards. Braden Barner has 4 carries for 8 yards. And Anthony Foster, number 25, has 2 carries for -2. Passing-wise, Caden Olson, number 13, 10 attempts for 83 yards. 5 passes have fallen incomplete. Receiving, Barner has 1 catch for 11 yards. Carter Brooks has 2 catches for 10 yards. Caden Green has a catch for 11 yards. And Anthony Foster has 1 catch for 46. Was able to come through with a big play, the biggest play of the game for the Havana Ducks. On the Macomb Bombers side, we'll start with Connor Bishop, 1 carry for 12 yards. Brandon Holthouse has 3 carries for 30 yards and a touchdown. Malachi Conley has 5 carries for 6 yards. Passing-wise, Holthouse has thrown the ball 8 times. He's completed 6 of them for 95 yards and 2 touchdowns. Drew Watson caught one of those touchdowns. He has 46 yards and 5 catches tonight. Ian Case, 2 catches, 115 yards. Can't complain about that out of the big man. And number 7, Jack Beal, 1 catch for 29 yards. Of course, Langdon Lambert, 2 interceptions on the night. Took one of those back for a pick 6. Scores from around the kind of the TSSR bubble here tonight. We'll start with some 8-man football. West Prairie Cyclones leading the West Central Heat 16-8. Milledgeville leading BPC 50-6. Rova is leading Abington Avon 23-7 at halftime. And West Hancock is down to Mercer County 16-8. Of course, our score here heading into halftime, 36-0. Macomb threatening to push this thing out to a running clock here in the second half, as the Bombers are entering the field back here after the halftime break. We'll thank some of our sponsors here. At Western Illinois University, Leathernecks don't just blend in because purple stands out. At WIU, there is limitless potential with campuses in Macomb, Quad Cities, and online. Visit wiu.edu/potential to become a Leatherneck and get an education that stands out. Do you need ice for your upcoming event? Look no further. Midwest Ice has you covered. Midwest Ice is Central Illinois' newest ice delivery service. We deliver ice directly to your event. Call Blaine Wrench at 309-351-8192 for a quote today. Palm Plus is proud to have served the Macomb and surrounding area for over 20 years, providing cash for most items of value. Palm Plus is the area's largest seller of used items, including firearms. They also provide on-site jewelry repair and are open 9 to 5 Monday through Saturday. They have a great selection of jewelry, electronics, tools, and video games, located at 324 West Jackson Street in Macomb. So Macomb will receive the kickoff here to start half number 2. It appears Mr. Tony Weston has gone MIA, and as I say that, here he comes back in. Root beer in hand. I'm sure catching up with folks as always.
Yeah, we first of all, the line to the bathroom was something else, but then you know, there's all sorts of Macomb folks down there. But I started my wrestling career, head coaching career at Beardstown, and we had the ball didn't go 10 yards. I think we covered it anyway. We're good. Yep. And who else? Langdon Lambert. But anyway, a phenomenal family in the Beardstown community is the Cowell family, and Randy Cowell is a science teacher at Beardstown High School and ended up being a principal at the grade school there. Moved over to Havana as an administrator, and her son Nick wrestled for me. Her daughter Abigail wrestled for us in our kids club in junior high, and Maddie, the oldest daughter. But I saw Mr. Cowell coming in tonight, and then you saw Abigail come up and meet with us a little bit, and so just been able to see the Cowell family here tonight. So was chatting. But I need to send out a text. Randy hasn't come up. I'd like to get her up in here and talk to her a little bit.
First play of the second half for the Bombers is a run play up the middle. Goes for about 4 yards there.
Yeah, Randy and Scott and all the kids, just great people in the Beardstown community, and now in Havana, and just a great family. Great to see them.
Full House takes a snap once again. Handoff's going to come for Bishop. Back-to-back carries for Connor Bishop. Not quite to the first down there. It'll be another gain. Picks up about 4 there. Sets up 3rd and 2 for the Bombers offense.
We all know the situation here. If the Bombers are able to come down the field and punch this one in, we're going to be on a running clock here in the second half.
Handoff comes to Bishop once again.
Sneaks through and picks up the first.
Yep,
that was
corner.
A great little cutback.
Yeah, nice patient run there from Bishop, able to pick up the sports corner first down. Run play goes for, we're going to mark him about exactly 2 yards. I think that flag is a little bit far back there. There, they got to move forward a little bit further. 10 minutes, 30 seconds to go in quarter number 3. Again, Bombers' big advantage. And as Tony just mentioned, if they can punch this one in, we'll be set on a running clock. Fake handoff to Watson. Handoff comes to Bishop once again. Another nice hard run there. Just put his head down, able to pick up about 5.
And that's a real nice design. That's something that you pick up on film. How does a defense react to that jet threat? Are they going to slide? Are they going to just hold firm and maybe walk an outside linebacker up? They slid their whole defense. That's something that I know Tanner Horrell saw on film and was able to hit that under on behind the jet motion.
Quick pass out to Case is complete. Wrapped up there. He's still moving forward. He's going to bring about 4 or 5 ducks there a few yards further on.
Hey, you do me a favor. We got the administrator, Randy Cowell, right here from Havana. Here we go. Randy, how are you?
I'm doing well, Coach Weston. How are you, sir?
I'm great now. Good to see you. We were just talking about our time in Beardstown, and now you're in Havana, I'm in Macomb, but, you know, both of us still have just a great affection for the Beardstown community and where we come from. But the great Cowell family with Randy and Scott, and, of course, Nick wrestled for us, and Abigail came up and saw us at the beginning of the game. She also wrestled for us. I just wish that the IHSA had put wrestling for females in a few years earlier. Maybe we could have stole her from that activity that she takes part in the winter. But,
yeah. Well, we talked about that, and she thought about that, and then when she came into Havana, she was not sure about wrestling with the boys.
Yep. Yeah, exactly. We didn't have girls wrestling yet. But, and of course, Maddie. How's Maddie doing?
Madison's doing great. She's in Oklahoma. She has a job out there working with missions at Rhema Bible College, so she's
awesome.
doing wonderful.
That's awesome.
Nick will graduate in December.
That's
he
awesome.
will graduate with his degree in industrial and manufacturing engineering.
Smart kid, always was. Always knew good things.
Well, so you say.
Well, it's always, you know, my daughter now is in 6th grade. We picked up a first down and then a big run by Connor Bishop, picks up another 5. My daughter is in 6th grade, 11 years old, went to her first middle school dance tonight. Just can't believe it. And, yeah, you knew the little baby girl.
Yeah, it's hard to believe that the younger Abigator is going to a dance. The older Abigator will be graduating in May.
Jeez, yeah, that's what she said. I just can't even believe it. So we got twins to the far side and ISO down here. Caught in the backfield, but it looks like he's able to squirm back up to about the leg, loses about a yard. So all the kids are doing great. And how are you just loving it in Havana?
Havana has been a great change for us. Beardstown was wonderful. I was born and raised there. Love it. Have nothing ill will, Nothing bad to say about Havana. Nothing bad to say about Beardstown. Havana has been a wonderful change for us. Abigail has fit in very well. The athletics here have been great for her, so we are super thankful for the chance that we've had here. I miss Beardstown wrestling.
Yeah, well,
and I miss Beardstown music.
Oh, Patrick Stedman runs what a great program.
For sure.
Brayton Holdhouse there under a lot of pressure, starts to run it out, and then looks to find somebody in the corner of the end zone, falls just short. Looks like we're going to, is this 4th and 9? So we covered all the kids and everything, and I tell you what, this might shock you. I'm actually finishing up. I'll be finished in May with my master's program for educational leadership. So
I'm going to say I think that's awesome and amazing.
Well, that's Randy Cowell is a big inspiration for that. Oh, man, what a great play. These Havana Ducks, they've got the fight in them, Big John. They're still playing. It's 36-0, and they're coming after it. They are not giving up that touchdown that would have put it into the running clock. Now they got the ball back in the offense's hands, and if this is going to be a football game, they're going to make it happen right now. And I tell you what, I'm impressed. They're out there. They're running around. They're flying around, and they're coming after it.
We've got some great leadership with our new coach. We've got several kids hurt, but the younger kids are stepping up. All this week they've been talking about how they really need to come out on this field and do what they need to do to step up, to fill in those spots with our kids that are hurt.
So now that's one of those now routes right there. Get the ball out in the wide receiver's hands. What you want to do is that your playmaker make our playmaker miss, which happens, but a great job of pursuit. Safety comes down, linebacker comes over and stops that play for loss of 1. Randy, great to see you. Great to talk to you. Always good to see you, and hopefully we see you maybe around well, I guess you don't have any wrestlers to see in the open tournaments. But,
I do not. That doesn't mean I won't help if you need me.
There you go.
You know my number.
Beautiful.
And we'll see you at the Macomb tournament for the girls in November.
Oh, yeah, big basketball tournament.
And then we will see you again in the spring when the Lady Ducks come to play softball with Kylie.
Yes.
Yes.
Yep.
And the girls that are at Macomb. So we're always excited to come play softball there because it's a great program and we enjoy it very much.
Well, and you know, your Abigail's a senior. My Abigail is in 6th grade, but she's gotten way into softball. So I'm going to have to get her with your Abigail, get some words of advice, get a picture. And
sounds great.
Good
Wonderful.
to see you, as always. And we're going to get the headset back to John and get back to football. But always great to see Randy Cowell and relive some days, but miss you too. Big defensive play right there. That's one of those TFLs. You get them behind the sticks, and now this looks like it's going to be a long 4th down. But I tell you what, Havana's coach so far has shown zero fear. 4th and long, 4th in negative territory. He's going. He's making plays, but this is a little too deep, and he's bringing out the punt team, which is the right call, even with the score. You don't want to let this get out of hand and give yourself a shot. Yes, we'll see you. Get that running clock. Oh, what a punt too!
Nice punt there.
And a roll for them.
Walt's going to track it down. He's going to pick it up. Going to bring it back a few yards there, but what a heck of a leg there. Nice punt's going to put the Bombers all the way back on their own 30. And you kind of mentioned,
Coach. That's a net 45-yard punt.
Yeah. Coach for the Ducks not showing any fear. You got to say the same thing about the players. They came through with a big stop, like we said. Again, not holding their heads quite yet, able to stop Macomb from punching one in to start the half. And again, it couldn't get much going there on the drive, but as you mentioned, these players definitely flying around, still trying to come up with big plays. And of course, last game of the season, you want to come away with the win. So I expect nothing less. 4 minutes, 45 seconds to go in quarter number 3. Bombers take over at about their own 30-yard line to start this drive. First play of the drive will be handoff. A little bit of a slow transfer there to Bishop, and
struggles to get back right to the line of scrimmage. And I tell you, I think right now we're not, we're still in the 3rd quarter. We're not on the running clock. and Macomb still pushing the football, which I think is the right call. I don't think that you want to take the foot off the gas too early and let a football team get back into this. However, I'm interested to see if we're going to get to see. I know that number 16, Jackson Barclay, is back healthy. We saw him a little bit last week, and I'm wondering if – oh, what a good double move right there. Ian Case gets the ball downfield. Oh, and he breaks a tackle. He's still going.
He's going to run out just before the end zone, it appears. Clock will stop there. Yeah, so that's going to be a long pass play there. Case takes it all the way up to the 1, decides to run it out of bounds. Again, not trying to add on too much there, but I feel like you take the touchdown there, Coach.
Well, I'm interested to see a personnel change here if they're trying to get a youngster the football.
Could be that, for sure.
I'm not sure what happened there, but yeah, Ian Case broke a tackle, had the sideline, went down, and as we said, slithered out at about the 1 yard line.
And Macomb will punch that in on the run play there. That was Bishop on the carry. Gains 1 yard, picks up the touchdown.
You know what? I'd have to look at the stats. I don't remember earlier in the year. I don't think Connor Bishop's had a touchdown this year. I think his buddy, I think Ian and Connor, I think they're kind of best friends. He may have done a solid for his buddy there and said, hey, it's time for you to get in the end zone before your high school career's over.
He very well could have. Again, that was a big pass play. Went for about 69 yards there to Case. Bishop able to punch it in for 6, and the 2-point conversion will be good. That was Drake May on the carry there, number 27, the freshman getting in on the action, I believe.
I think so.
So the 2-point conversion's good. Bombers push this thing up to 44. We'll be starting with a running clock here after the kickoff. 3 minutes, 37 seconds. The touchdown and 2-point conversion come at. We'll keep it here for this one. Read some couple ads real quick. Madonna District Hospital Athletic Trainers and MDH Rehabilitation Center with locations in Bushnell and Macomb provide expert help to all area student athletes in the prevention, care, and rehabilitation of all athletic injuries. Learn more at mdh.org. Madonna District Hospital, more than hospital care, a hospital carry. With locations in Macomb and Augusta, and with 80 years of car sales experience, Ron Elby Auto Sales is your hometown go-to for your next car. In Macomb on East Jackson Street, stop in, talk to Justin, Jared, or Chris, or visit www.lbsalescars.com to check out their inventory. So once again, the Bombers will kick this thing away with 3 minutes and 37 seconds to go here. It'll be a running clock for the remainder. Bombers lead 44-0 over the Havana Ducks. And how about this, Tony? Ian Case on the night, 4 catches, 189 yards unofficially. Doesn't get much better than that.
No, I'd say that's pretty solid per attempt.
Yeah, pretty productive night. That kick will go out of bounds. So that'll set up first down for the Ducks.
I was trying to think back. There's been obviously a few Brayton Holdhouse touchdowns on the ground. I remember a Drew Watson end-around touchdown on the ground on a jet sweep. I don't think that Connor Bishop has had a touchdown this year, so I think that's exactly what just happened.
Yeah, very well could have been. Again, Case could have easily walked that thing in for a touchdown, took it out at the 1, and then they handed it off to Bishop, who punched it in. Quick pass to the outside is dropped. That was number 3, Luke Smith. Pass falls incomplete, sets up second down.
This is always an interesting game. It's week 9. There's going to be no week 10. You're on a running clock now. It's still in the third quarter, though. How long do you let these seniors play before bringing in the freshmen and sophomores?
Yeah, absolutely. And again, you mentioned last football game for these seniors here in an MHS jersey. Run play there goes up the middle. Virtually no gain on the play.
Senior Tomix Kobix is now into the game. And I think that's one thing you are going to start to see right now is some of these seniors that maybe haven't gotten a huge amount of reps this year are now going to be coming into the football game and getting some time.
Third and 9 play for the Ducks, just over 2 minutes to go. Drops back to pass there, completes it into the flats. That was number 22. That's Caden Green on the reception.
Oh, no, Langdon Lambert's down on the ground. Langdon Lambert made that play, held the ball carrier for Drake May to come over and clean up, but slow to get up.
Yeah, not what you like to see. Lambert's been pretty big for the Bombers, has a pick 6 here tonight, 2 interceptions. He's made a lot of big plays throughout the Bombers and really does a nice job kind of on the hands team there on the kickoffs too, is able to dive on a couple balls for the Bombers. We'll take a quick break here as Lambert's a little shaken up on the field. You're listening to TSSR Game Time Live, presented by MDH.
Well, I've always had an interest in the medical field, and then growing up, I actually went through physical therapy myself for an injury, and that got me back to playing my sports and the activities that I loved. So seeing that firsthand, I got to see how much physical therapy could really benefit others.
So Lambert's able to get up after that one, getting a little slow to get off the field, but able to walk under his own power. You can kind of see him there walking towards the Macomb sideline. And that definitely sucks to see. You know, Lambert's played really well here tonight, as he has throughout most of the season for this Bombers team. But good to see he's up, moving around, able to get off the field under his own power there. 1 minute, 35 seconds to go in the third quarter. Fake snap there, a little bit of movement, and that'll draw a penalty there.
That's the senior Tomix Kobix, and that's another one of those. He moves, he stands up. Couldn't tell if, obviously that he went across the line. That's what the officials called, but didn't go diving into the line. But, that's real excitement for a young man getting some reps and just wants to get into a football play. And, the other coach is trying to get back into the football game, and he took advantage.
This ball will be spotted near the Ducks 45.
So now 4th and 5 becomes 4th and inches. You're going to see a quarterback sneak here.
Yep, Olsen lines up under center. That's exactly what they do. He's able to get maybe a couple yards there. Nice blocking up front by the Ducks, able to push this up for a first down. Clock rolls under 30 seconds.
One thing you want to guard against in a game like this too, and you're seeing a little bit now, is some of these seniors are realizing this is it, and hasn't been the season they wanted on either side. There's a little bit of frustration, and you just don't want any nonsense, as we're closing out a game. Let's get everybody healthy and on to their winter sports. Long pass, makes the connection, still on his feet, gets dragged down at about the 8.
Nice pass to play there from Olsen to Barner. And that'll be the end of the third quarter here in Havana. We'll take a break here on TSSR Game Time Live and bring the final quarter of action for Bombers football this season. Again, right here on TSSR Game Time Live.
At Western Illinois University, leathernecks don't just blend in. Our purple stands out. Our students are innovative, creative, and resilient. At WIU, there's limitless potential, with campuses in Macomb, the Quad Cities, and online. Visit wiu.edu/potential to become a Leatherneck and get an education that stands out.
I chose physical therapy because I knew I wanted to be in the healthcare field. I wanted to be able to help patients in some way related to more in depth. We get to know our patients, and that's really what kind of sets us apart.
I would have to say that is the most rewarding part of what I do, making a difference in people's lives, taking care of the women from puberty on through postmenopausal stages and seeing them go through the phases and stages of life.
Back in Havana, Ducks have this ball in the red zone. Quick hitter out to number 3, Luke Smith. He's going to be close to the end zone, and it's going to be a touchdown. The senior, Luke Smith, getting in on the action there for the Ducks as he's able to punch it in for Havana's first touchdown of this contest. And again, in the final game of the season for the senior Luke Smith, nice to see him break the plane there, able to punch it in for 6. Havana sets up to go for 2. It'll be handoff up the middle to Barner. Yep, and he'll take it in for the 2-point conversion. So the Ducks able to get on the board here early on in quarter number 4, 11 minutes, 44 seconds to be exact. We'll keep it here for this one. Since 1960, and Arthur Brothers Heating and Cooling has provided the greater Macomb area with expert sales, service, and installation of quality home comfort systems. Call your local carrier dealer today at 309-833-2852 and find out how Arthur Brothers Heating and Cooling delivers 365 days of indoor comfort. The Old Dairy, located at 210 South Lafayette Street, Macomb, Illinois, serving soup, salads, sandwiches, homemade dessert, Blue Bunny ice cream, and a full-service coffee bar. Breakfast served all day and free Wi-Fi. Visit them online at www.olddairyMacomb.com or call 309-837-6700 for your takeout. Again, Bombers will take over after the passing touchdown from Olsen to Smith. And again, at this point in the game, you kind of got to wonder when some of these seniors will start coming out for both teams. Number 57, Austin Burgett, set back to kick, it appears. Nope, that was wrong. Thought he was. That's number 53 on the Havana side. Nice kick down the field.
Looks like we got offsides on the kicking team.
Yep. So Havana will kick this one from a little further back. Yep, those near side coverage team players, looks like they were a bit offsides there watching the replay.
You were going to go back at halftime and look and see who had the long pass
And you know what? I did. That was, of course, the quarterback Olsen completed that one to number 25, Anthony Foster, for about 46 yards. That was the biggest play for the Ducks offense. Another nice kickoff there. This one's going to be returned by the Bombers. I believe that's Bishop on the return.
That is Bishop. He's got the sideline now.
Able to turn it upfield, brings it out past the 50, past the 45.
So they're going to be starting in plus territory.
Yep, nice return there from Connor Bishop. Again, the senior Bishop has had a pretty productive night. Saw the nice return there. Has 8 carries for 34 yards and a touchdown on the night. And what will most likely be his last game as a Macomb Bomber. 10 minutes, 55 seconds as we're having a little issue with the chain gang there. It appears on the far sideline. Play clock's going to get set to run out. But they're going to add some more time on there. Again, running clock here in the fourth quarter. Macomb will take as much time as they need. Handoff will be a run up the middle for Conley. He's going to be brought down right at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play for Malachi Conley.
And there goes Braden Holdhouse, getting a big round of applause from his teammates. And it is not Jackson Barclay. It is number 25, who's not on my roster.
High snap there. Handoff comes to Conley. He's going to have a little room to work there towards the far sideline. Still on his feet. I think he's going to be close to the first down on the second effort there. Run play goes for about 8.
I wonder if this is Jackson Barclay and it's just a uniform issue. No, it's a little stockier.
Eight minutes, 55 seconds. Pass play over the middle of the field, a little bit short, falls incomplete. Pass was intended for number 18 on the Macomb side.
You know what? This is Langdon Lambert's little brother, Leighton Lambert, out there playing quarterback. Thank you very much to Coach Tanner Scott for chiming in tonight.
Macomb will get set to punt this one away. Nice punt there. Damone Johnson on the coverage. Fields at about the 11, 10-yard line. And that's where the Ducks will take over. Again, clock is going to continue to run here in Havana. 7 minutes, 55 seconds as it ticks on. Again, a lot of players on the Macomb sideline getting reps that maybe they might not normally see here in the final game of the season. Olsen's still back in there for the Havana Ducks at quarterback. He'll get a quick handoff there to Foster, who wraps it around the far sideline. Positive yardage there. Picks up about 5 on the run play.
And at this point, it looks like the Bombers defense is, there's a couple of seniors, and again, it's not high snap count guys, and a whole bunch of freshmen, a couple sophomores out there. They're kind of having to help each other get into the right spot. Kicks the ball out, and that is Malachi Conley making a really, oh no, that's
Drake May.
I'm sorry. Excuse me.
You're good. It's late in the night. It's late in the season.
What am I thinking? There was a tackle made. It was probably Drake May.
Run play to Green there. Drake May on the stop, and man, he's gonna be one heck of a football player.
You know, I was just thinking. You know, we were talking at the outset of this broadcast about what to look forward to for this Bomber football team coming back next year, and obviously that right there is a huge bright spot. This guy has been a linchpin in the lineup as a freshman, not just a guy holding a role, but the leading tackler on the Bomber defense as a freshman. So now you get this guy in the weight room, right? You get this young man going through a full off-season program. Again, obviously he went through one last year, but, you know, what are we going to see next year out of Drake May? Very, very interesting.
Yeah, and of course, after tonight, still 3 more years with this Bombers program. Again, just the freshman, and as you mentioned, the Bombers' leading tackler. Definitely going to be one heck of a defensive player. And we've seen him get some reps in there at running back, too, throughout the season. So maybe as some other players move on, you might see him slide back there as well.
Yeah, I was wondering. I wonder if he's going to get some running back reps next year with Connor Bishop gone. Get a little muscle.
This is Barner now back to pass. Looking down the field, nice pressure there by the Bombers, and he's going to be tackled down. Thunderbolty there on the initial pressure, able to
Bring
get
in
hands.
the thunder. He lowered that shoulder and made certain that the tackle was made. Give him credit for a sack on that as it goes behind the chains.
Absolutely, sets up 3rd down and 11 for the Ducks. 4 minutes, 45 seconds. Again, the clock continues to run here in Havana.
Now, I know quarterback pulls the ball down, becomes a runner, but you know what? Give the young man a sack. I think the quarterback had downfield eyes. I'm almost positive.
It's going to be Green bringing it towards the near sideline. Takes a big hit there by Damone Johnson. Able to force him out of the bound. Flag comes down on the play late.
Yeah, that's going to be unsportsmanlike on Barner, unfortunately. And again, we were talking about that earlier. There's frustration there, and I think he's frustrated. I think he didn't like the way that about getting up, but that's Blaine Eddington that he was mixed up with. I don't think Blaine Eddington was had anything really untoward, but so that's unsportsmanlike conduct. Just frustration.
That'll be the 15-yard penalty charge to Havana. These Havana fans sitting out in front of us. We got the windows peeled open here and there.
They're expressing their front frustration as well.
Absolutely. 3 minutes, 15 seconds. Olsen back there. It's going to be a pitch to Foster. Ball on the ground. It's going to be chased down by Harley Brown on the Bomber side, but it's going to be recovered by the Ducks, it appears.
So you got 4th and 16. What are we going to see here? We're going to see a punt. We're going to see them going for it, try and push the ball downfield. I'd really like to get another look at Leighton Lambert now that I know who's there. Freshman Leighton Lambert in the Doug Flutie vein of quarterbacks. He's a stocky young man. Uh-oh, Thunderbolt, he's got him in his grasp. And he goes down for the sack.
Nice play there by the Bombers, and they'll take over with, what is that, about 4 yards to go to the end zone after the sack.
That's also Thomas Kobik's in there
Absolutely.
On that sack. So he's going to get credit for a sack in his final football game of high school.
Nice pressure there by the Bombers.
A lot of grip strength there, you could tell in Thomas Kobik's that he probably picked up where? In the wrestling
Probably
room.
on the wrestling mat. There you go. It appears Holthouse is back out on the field. And now we're going to have, it looks like a timeout. Maybe just for some substitutions here late. Minute 52 seconds. The timeout comes. Tony, why don't you go ahead and tell everybody about Friday night Rock and Bowl up there at Diggers College City Bowl?
Well, you know, if I've heard correctly, Friday night Rock and Bowl, you head up to the bowling alley, And you got the lights, you got the smoke machines going off, the rock music playing, and you know, a couple hours up there. I'm gonna have to pull that back up and see. I think it was $10. Let me pull that up. My sister's information, and yeah, look at this, man. You got 9:30 to 11:30 p.m. $10. Bowl all you want under the lights. Under the, you know, out there, and you get to see old number 2, Peanut Dakin, in there in the bowling alley. It's just a perfect atmosphere. Of course, you go from there where? Straight over to the sports corner, about 3 blocks down the road, and get yourself some good food, and that's what you call a Friday night.
Absolutely. Can I be honest with you? That's one of my favorite parts of the night right there, talking about rock and roll. So
well, I happen to I'm a big fan of that particular small business, you know, family-owned business here or not here, but in Macomb, Illinois. And yeah, it just happens to be my sister, who is, of course, the greatest sister of all time, Christy. If you're listening, I love you. And but you know, all of our sponsors, thank you so much. We're not able to have these broadcasts without our sponsors. And of course, my brother Rich Weston, the Remax broker, who's provided our apparel that we've worn on our broadcasts all year, and the Sports Corner, and Tom Conklin, and MDH, and LB Justin is such a huge supporter of Macomb Athletics, and all of these sponsors. We cannot do these broadcasts without you. And any other local business or family or independently wealthy person that wants to jump on board and help out with football next year, or with wrestling this year, or with any, you know, just with general coverage of all the sports. As the clock ticks down, we're under that 40-second play clock, so now both teams are going to their sidelines. The Bombers will finish 4-5 with a 44-8 win here tonight. You can see those seniors right now. The coaches are hugging them up, and they're hugging each other up, and you know, they're leaving that football field for the final time, and Havana's, unfortunately, you know, a season that started so promising with that Week 1 battle against Rova just got away from them, and there's injuries and you know, all those sorts of things that derail a small school football team. And I think there's brighter futures ahead for both of these guys, and for both of these football teams, and you know, it's going to be exciting to see. Obviously, we're very familiar with the Macomb football team. That's our hometown team, and you know, we've talked all night that there's bright days ahead for this Macomb football team. They're bringing back most of their offensive line, bringing back their quarterback. They're bringing back a lot of their skill positions, a lot of their defenders. Exciting times, and we showed this year that the coaching staff, Tanner Horrell and Dave Wilson, Luke Ladd, Paul Zarello, that whole football staff, man, they're able to pull guys out of the hallway that haven't played football either ever or at least maybe not since junior high, or maybe not since kids ball, and not just get them on the team, but make them contributors. You know, whether it's Langdon Lambert, whether it's Malachi Conley, you know, these guys, and they're out here and they're playing full-on roles. So, you know, not only to see these guys that we're looking at in the white shirts right now, how they grow, how they hit the weight room, how they dedicate themselves, how they go through their other sports throughout the year and use those transferable skills and bring them back to football in the fall, next fall. But also, who's going to be on the field? You know, who are we going to go out and pull out of the hallways?
So again, it was a Bombers win, 44-8. We will head to one final ad break here on the Bombers football season and be back with you for some final stats and hope to get a chance to talk to Coach Horrell after a big win here in Havana. Obviously not the season the Bombers were quite looking for, but it did a nice job bouncing back here tonight against this Ducks team. Again, you're listening to TSSR Game Time Line presented by MDH. We'll take a quick ad break and be back with you to close things out here in Havana.
At Western Illinois University, leathernecks don't just blend in. Our purple stands out. Our students are innovative, creative, and resilient. At WIU, there is limitless potential, with campuses in Macomb, the Quad Cities, and online. Visit wiu.edu/potential to become a leatherneck and get an education that stands out.
Since 1958, McDonough District Hospital has proudly served the residents of West Central Illinois. We've built new facilities, hired highly trained, experienced, and caring medical staff members, and expanded our service offerings to meet your healthcare needs, all while providing the best possible patient experience. Let us show you why McDonough District Hospital is your community healthcare partner, growing our legacy one patient at a time.
Back here in Havana, again, Bombers win 44-8 in the final game of the season. We'll go over some final unofficial stats here on both sides. We will start with the Havana Ducks. The quarterback, Caden Olson, 4 carries, no yards on the night. 9 carries for Caden Green. He finishes with 16 yards. Braden Barner has 4 carries for 8 yards, and Anthony Foster had 4 carries for 1 yard. Caden Olson, the quarterback, had 14 passing attempts. He threw for 133 yards and a touchdown on the night. Catching those passes was number 11, Braden Barner. He had 1 reception for 11 yards. Carter Brooks had 2 catches for 10 yards. Caden Green had 1 catch for 11 yards. Anthony Foster, that 1 big play, 46-yard reception. And Luke Smith had a 5-yard touchdown pass reception. On the Bombers side, we'll just go from top to bottom here. Number 8, Connor Bishop, the senior, able to punch in a touchdown here this season. He finishes with 8 carries for 34 yards. Braden Holthouse, the quarterback, scored the first touchdown of the game. He finishes with 3 rushing attempts for 30 yards. Malachi Conley, again, first-year football player, 7 carries on the night, 14 yards. Through the air, Braden Holthouse, 11 passing attempts, 174 yards, and 3 touchdowns. Receiving those, number 1, Drew Watson, 6 catches for 1 touchdown, 56 yards. Ian Case, 4 catches on the night and 189 yards. And Jack Beal rounds things out, 1 catch, for 29 yards. So pretty spread out there on the offensive side for the Bombers as we see them taking the final huddle of the season there.
Be nice to see the yards after catch stats for Ian Case tonight, because it's a lot.
It's definitely got to be at least in the 150, 160 area, I would assume. Not too many big plays through the air, but Casey able to catch those shorter passes.
Well, I think the 90-yarder was downfield, but even there, he had to run through some trouble and shake off a couple of guys, and then obviously that last little bit, he had to fight the safety that had chased him down and carry him a few yards and kind of lunge forward to get over the goal line before the knee hit. So, yeah, a ton of yards after the catch for Big E and Case. And Bombers able to get just enough of a running game going tonight to be able to keep the linebackers in the box and really open up that passing game, which was very heavy to Drew Watson early on, and then it was just the Ian Case show after that.
Yeah, and that's definitely going to be a big piece missing for that Bombers team. Again, Case, the senior, just played his final game in a Bombers uniform, but came through in a big way for the Bombers tonight. Again, 189 yards. I believe Coach Horrell is making his way up here. I'll pass the headset off to him and get things wrapped up here on the Bombers season.
My friend, that is the way you want to end a season, I would say.
I guess. I don't know. I told them down there, the only time I won my season in with the W is in Champaign or Bloomington.
Well, sure. Absolutely.
Yes and no. It was great to send the seniors out to win, but
yeah,
not where we want to be.
Sure, absolutely. Obviously, 4-game skid here that you went through and suffered a bunch of injuries and some uneven play that we've talked about. But talk to me a little bit about these seniors.
We've been through a lot. You know, I've taught these kids in 4th, 5th, and 6th grade, coached them in junior basketball, coached them in football. They don't quit. They keep battling. they're a goofy bunch of kids, but they're great to be around, and we're going to miss them.
Absolutely. But and then transition, we talked about it at the onset of the broadcast tonight. We talked about it a little bit throughout the game. You know, obviously, this is your first experience with what you would consider an empty week. But that gives us as broadcasters a chance to really look forward and look at, you know, all of these names that have numbers that aren't 12 underneath them. And you've got a lot coming back. Talk to us about what you're looking at for. And I said on the broadcast, I know you well enough to know that you'll have the bus ride home, and next season starts tomorrow morning.
Right. Yeah, we told them we're going to take a couple weeks, and then we're going to be in the weight room about quarterfinal week. So we're excited. You know, I think we have 8 to 9 returning starters on defense and 7 or 8 on offense, and a lot of playmakers and some guys that rotated in there. I think 9 of our top 11 tacklers were underclassmen. We have a great freshman group, sophomore group, and then we just get contributions from all kinds of kids. So we're excited about that. But we got to buy it in the off season. We got to have a good winter in the weight room or on the basketball court, or hopefully on the wrestling mats, and then in track and baseball as well.
And I tell you what, one thing we've talked about, and this year was really unique, you and your staff have done such a phenomenal job of not just bringing along the kids in your program, but pulling kids out of the hallway. And then all of a sudden we start to see these names pop up. You see Langdon Lambert. You see Hector Mamie. You see, Malachi Conley. These guys, you're not just pulling kids out of the hallway to fill a spot on the depth chart. These guys were main contributors.
Yeah, you know, I think at times the number game is overrated because you do only play with 11 guys and your rotations aren't that super deep. So when we're trying to get these kids to come out for football, we want them for a reason. We want them to contribute, and I think you see that with Langdon making plays on both sides of the ball. He had a huge pick 6 tonight, kind of got us rolling. Malachi really took off last week, and he runs the ball really hard, and we're excited to get him back next year. And kind of this year was a very big learning curve for him, kind of understand football. But I think with another year under his belt, he's going to be good next year. And Hector was probably our best lineman, I feel like. And, you know, last year he was kind of lining up all over the place. He didn't really know where to go. So we're really excited to get kids out for football and athletes that can contribute. You know, Simon Crabtree just came out this year, and, you know, he's battled an injury all year, and he's kind of pushed off surgery, and he gets in there, he makes some nice plays. He had a great rep on Wednesday practice that if he can do that consistently, he's going to be a big-time player for us next year.
And, you know, I understand what you're saying. You hate to end a season in week 9, but what that does is it creates storylines like right at the end of the game here, you've got number 13, Tomix Kobix, hasn't been a high-rep guy all year, and all of a sudden he's on the stat sheet with a half a sack there that he shares with Big E and Case, and that was just a great moment. You see him hopping around, and just great to see. But talking about tonight's football game, enough of a push with the running game to keep those linebackers in the box and open up. Early on it was Drew Watson, but then the E and Case show.
Yeah, you know, I was disappointed with our lack of running game on the first drive. But we got it going there later on in the second quarter. Kind of got some nice drives going. Connor came in and kind of gave us another look in the backfield and hit some holes. But our receivers did well. It felt like Braden's throws were a lot better than this week. I think his arm's starting to feel a little better. Wrong time, but
yeah.
It was nice to see him get some nice connections there with Drew, and Jack caught a nice touchdown pass. And then Ian, we're going to miss him on the outside at tight end because he's such a big beast, and he can catch the ball and make plays afterwards. You know, a 96-yard touchdown. He could have got another one, but he did his buddy a solid and went out at the one to get Bishop in the end zone.
We were confused at first, and then I started thinking, I was like, I don't think Connor's been in the end zone.
Right, yeah, and he's kind of a kid that he got in once last year, and I think he's been once or twice this year. So we wanted to send him out on a high note.
So defensively, I thought that tonight was just such a good game. There was no room to run. There really held the running game to nothing other than 1 or 2 cutbacks. And some of the things that I really enjoyed tonight that we didn't see earlier on are those backside guys that are not leaving their spot. And I'm thinking of one play in particular where Connor Bishop was the CBR guy, they pull that reverse,
Yep.
and he took his legs out. That was just a phenomenal football play. So talk about Coach Wilson's game plan tonight and what you saw from the defense.
Well, he's not real happy right now. He
Is
gave
he
up that
ever?
No, he was cussing up a storm down there because he gave up a touchdown. But that'll happen. But I thought defensively played really well. We bend but don't break mentality. You know, we always want to make them snap the football again, and at some point they're going to make a mistake. And they got it on the first drive they had down here. They had a bad snap. They kind of pushed them back. We've been there. Kills the drive. And then down here again, we had another big stop on the goal line. So that's kind of what we were in the first 3 weeks, and we kind of got back to it tonight. So that was good to see. And we just have so many young guys. I mean, our leading tackler on the year is a freshman.
Yeah, we talk about that
Drake
a lot.
May, and we got Kyler Norton in there, and Brennan Bolte's really stepped up since the Illini West game. So we got a lot of guys we're excited about. We got another freshman in there, Caden Up. I'm real excited about that kid. He's pound for pound one of the stronger kids coming in as a freshman. And I think he can really take off in the future.
Good to see the younger Lambert out there getting a couple of snaps.
Yeah, I think he might have peed his pants. But and then I get him a chance to throw a hitch, and he picks the second guy instead of the inside guy.
So
he can't see over the line, so I'll give him a little bit of.
Speaking of the Lambert family, when we saw Braden Holthouse come out tonight, and he had some zip on the ball, and then you made a couple calls down the field, and we saw that he was leading receivers. And this one over here, unfortunately, he threw a capped route.
Yep.
But he's throwing the ball with confidence. He's throwing the ball downfield, and I said on the air, I said, you know, Coach Anderson and Coach Lambert are watching this, and they're going, whew.
Yeah. Yeah. You know, I think he got a little confidence back. I think a little bit of it was just a little hesitation after a scare at the Farmington game on the sideline. And I can't hate the kid for that, you know. Just put a little doubt in his mind, I think. But, you know, he's a competitor. He's a kid that never wants to come off the field. So I'll take 11 Braden Holthouses.
Oh, and you got him back.
I got him back. Yeah, we're real excited about that.
Well, buddy, I'm sorry that the way that the season unfolded, but again, you've got a team that you're bringing 90% of back, full off season, and we are so excited for next year, and can't wait.
Yeah, me too. Can't wait to get back at it.
Yeah, go down and get with your team, buddy.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you guys for doing that this year. It's awesome.
Thank you.
So that's how things will conclude here on TSSR Game Time Live. Once again, Arler Brothers Heating and Cooling has brought you Bombers football all season long. As once again, if you can't read the scoreboard, Bombers win 44-8. Of course, they will miss the playoffs. This will be the final game for this Macomb team this season. But as you talked about there with Coach Horrell, bringing back a lot of key players. Of course, you get Holthouse back next year, and a lot of guys just starting out here for Macomb football, and a lot of freshmen coming in who have played well throughout the season. Before we get things wrapped up, let's go through a couple thank yous throughout this season. Of course, I think the biggest thank you goes to Coach Horrell for coaching these kids and providing all you viewers with some great football throughout the season, and always coming up to talk to us after the games, even through the wins, through the losses, the thick and the thin of it. He's always up here talking to us, and you know, that's something that we greatly appreciate here on TSSR. It goes to, of course, to you, Mr. Tony Weston, for joining me alongside all the people watching at home. Tegan Perry, who's been on camera for us throughout the year. Kenny Suter, who went down and did the Breeze game earlier on this year. Dwayne Hulett, who, of course, makes everything possible. And, of course, my mom tonight, closing out the season for us on camera, did a great job out there. So big thank you to all the people that help us here on TSSR, all the Macomb players, of course, all the coaches on the Macomb side, and of course, all of our sponsors. So, yeah. Tony, you got anything to wrap things up with?
I do. You stole my thunder a little bit. The last thing is,
go ahead.
We joke around a lot, but I tell you what a phenomenal job this year by Tegan Perry, running the camera this year, and love having him around. Love the kid. Great young man, and I hope he continues with us. And he's probably not listening, so don't anybody tell him. But I just think the world of that kid, and I'm super proud of him.
So with that, we'll get things wrapped up here in Havana. Again, Bombers win 44-8 in the final game of the season. So for John Burton, Tony Weston, and Lisa Fenton, my own mother, running the camera here tonight. She just gave me the look of death there. This has been TSSR Game Time Live's final presentation of Bombers football this season. We hope to catch you for some of the winter sports, of course, basketball and all that good stuff coming your way. And that's how we'll close things out. Hope everyone has a great weekend, and we appreciate you tuning in.